there, people of the internet. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. You know, pretty different. Today we are going to be doing some bird watching, which is super awesome. I don't really know if people do bird watching videos on YouTube. Seems like something that people would do. People do a lot of stuff on YouTube. Yeah, anyways, I'm doing this just because I've gone into bird watching in this past year, and I think it's super fun and pretty cool to do. And so I'm gonna make a video about it this time. Today we're going to parking lot by Deception Pass, which is by Anacortes, Washington State. There's kind of a lake nearby, so we'll see if we'll see some waterfowl as well as some seabirds. Actually haven't gone to the ocean to look at birds yet at all. So hopefully I'm going to see lots and lots of new species. That will be super cool. My goal is to have 100 species by the end of the year. I'm already at 92. I've been keeping track of this since June 12th. Yeah, it should be super fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy looking at the birds that I hopefully film. It should be super awesome. Okay, I'm here. Currently trying to see if there's going to be anything on this lake. There's a lot of people out here today, you know? I mean, how dare so many people use a public park for recreation? I'm supposed to have this all to myself. Okay, so starting off here, we got some seagulls flying about, which are pretty darn epic. There were, of course, lots and lots of seagulls here. This was a beach by the ocean. It's kind of what seagulls do. Of course, seagulls aren't always seen by the ocean. They are very often seen quite a distance inland, but the ocean is still a very good place to find them. I mean, that's why they're called seagulls in the first place. And then what was pretty cool was out kind of in the middle of this lake, which I'm pretty sure was called Cranberry Lake. I'm not too sure though. We see a bunch of seagulls that were all chilling out and preening themselves and giving themselves some bird baths, which I thought was pretty cool. Some of them are going extremely wild. They're like really getting into it. They just love being clean so much, I guess. And then after the seagulls, we got some bufflehead, which you can see on the left side of the screen right now. And they're just kind of swimming around and diving and stuff. Yeah, there they go. There they go diving again. They're pretty far away, which is why they're not super big in the camera and stuff. My camera was all the way zoomed in, and they're still pretty small. But they did end up coming a lot closer later, which is very good. So you will end up seeing some much better footage of them here in a second. That is very loud. So focus on the jet. There it is. That is a very loud jet. It like took off like right there because we're right next to the military base. Crazy. So after that distraction, I then had a pair of, I believe to be juvenile double-crested cormorants come and land right next to me. Much closer, so they are much bigger in the camera, of course. And I got some really nice footage of them hanging out and swimming around before they decided to dive under the water to go and get some food. So after that, I then moved to be a little bit closer to where the buffleheads were hanging out. And I really love this piece of footage that I got here because you can see all the bubbles coming up from where the buffleheads are underneath the water. And I just think that's super cool how you can kind of see where they're going. I then was fortunate enough to see a hooded merganser, and oh my gosh, are these beautiful birds. I mean, just look at that dude. I mean, I know he's not super close. I wish he was closer so he could be more fully in frame, but just that black and white hood and the black and white body with that brown torso region, that's just so beautiful. Hooded mergansers are easily one of my favorite duck species because they just look so beautiful. I mean, just look at that. I then saw that there were some buffleheads foraging in this woody thicket area, but then they all came out and I was able to see just how many of them there were. There were about 20 of them, but there were only 3 males in the group, which I thought was very interesting. I don't know why there were so few males, probably just some kind of a coincidence type of a thing. After observing them, I then moved kind of more into the wooded area and I saw a bunch of robins, some overwintering robins, which was pretty awesome. And then I also saw a Anna's hummingbird that was hanging out on top of the branches. Anna's hummingbirds are super cool because of just how far north they stay here in the Pacific Northwest due to so many hummingbird feeders and exotic flower species that are now present in the region. The Anna's hummingbirds have significantly moved their range northward. And looks like we're now onto some pine siskins here. Pine siskins are super cool. We have a huge eruption of pine siskins this year. A lot of pine siskins and finches in general seem to be moving pretty darn far south, probably due to food shortages up north, which I mean is fine with me. I think it's super cool that we're getting these big flocks of like 100 pine siskin or so that you can see pretty readily and easily. Just kind of go into any forested region and you're pretty much guaranteed to see a big flock of pine siskin. I then also managed to capture this quick set of footage of a Pacific wren that was hanging out inside of the foliage, but as you can see, quickly darted back into the thicket, and I wasn't able to get any more good footage of him. But looks like now we're coming to a red-winged blackbird. There were actually a few of these guys that were hanging out in the trees. They're always super cool to see. As you can see, this one is definitely displaying his red wing patches, which of course is where the species gets its name very readily, and he does not like that robin. He definitely wanted to chase that robin away so he could have that super cool perch. And now we're on to what I think is a brown creeper, but it's kind of weird because it looks like it's got a buffy breast to me, like a buffy breast and neck region, which from what I've looked at for brown creepers doesn't seem to be a thing that they have. So I don't know if this is like a weird color morph or just some kind of weird thing going on with a creeper. If anyone knows what this bird is, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section. I then also saw a small flock of some chestnut-backed chickadees that were hanging out and foraging. They're pretty cool. I see the black caps pretty commonly. We have a lot of them up here in the Pacific Northwest, but the chestnut backs are always super cool to see just because they kind of have a very different look to them. With that, of course, chestnut back, they have a very distinctive look. Oh, and then here is a lifer bird for me. This is the first time I've seen this bird species, which I mean isn't really saying something considering this is my first year of bird watching, but this is a golden-crowned kinglet who, of course, is going around searching in the pine cones and stuff. This unfortunately isn't the best footage of him, but I thought it was pretty cool to see him and include his footage in this video. There's also a big flock of dark-eyed juncos that were hanging out and foraging on the ground. We have, of course, the Oregon race of dark-eyed juncos around here. There's a lot of different color variation in this species, as I'm sure many people know. Not anything too special, you can kind of see them anywhere, but pretty cool nonetheless. And then we get to see a new lifer bird for me. This, of course, is a surf scoter. Get ready for a lot of lifer birds here because as I think I might have said the intro, I don't really remember anymore. This is my first time going to the ocean for bird watching, so because of that, a lot of the stuff here are new lifers for me. I often hear that surf scoter are called clown faces, which I think is certainly a very appropriate name. They certainly have a very interesting look with their orange bill and that black dot in the center of it. And really their bill is just very interestingly shaped in general. The males are a very easily identifiable bird. They're not really easily mistaken for anything, though the females, as you can see, are a lot more dull and look a lot more like other scoters. And then that swimming by right there is a common loon, which is another life bird for me. My camera battery died pretty quickly after this, unfortunately, and I forgot to bring it out with me, so I had to go back to my car to get a new one. But I saw this common loon, and then I also saw a harlequin duck, which I was super sad my camera was dead and I couldn't get down footage. When I came back, it was gone. But those are 2 new lifer birds for me. And then we got this super nice footage of these birds flying out into the sunset. I'm not exactly sure what species these guys are, but a pretty cool shot nonetheless. This footage right here is when I was able to get back to where the Scoter were, and as you can see, they were now joined by a pair of red-breasted merganser, as well as a horned grebe in winter plumage, of course. 2 more lifer birds for me. This trip got me up to 98 bird species seen. What a day this has been. I should have come out to the ocean way earlier. I was looking at the lake and stuff because I wanted to see birds, and I did see some cool birds, you know, red-winged blackbirds, red-breasted nutcats. Those are all really, really cool. But I really wish I came out to this ocean sooner, to the Puget Sound earlier, just so I could see some more of the ocean birds out here. But I'm definitely going to have to come out here again at some point, do some more ocean bird watching, because oh my gosh, just how cool has this all been. Anyways, I'm going to call that a day. Thank you very, very much for watching this video, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed and you want to see more bird watching videos. Okay, so then the video just basically ends there. I don't really know why I ended up turning off the camera, but I guess I'm just gonna have to do the outro this way then. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.